Hey guys, welcome back to Table Torque. If you're an arm wrestler and still don't know how important down pressure is in your top roll or hook game, this video is for you. Devon's King's move is literally like the hardest maze to get through. The way he traps people in a position where they're trying their hardest and still can't get to the pin pad, it's insane. So is it just a lack of down pressure? That would be way too one-dimensional. Let's break down why down pressure is so important. First off, some of you might get confused about terms like up pressure, back pressure, down pressure, and all. So let me make this clear. Up pressure isn't an isolated movement. You might have seen people doing Angerbayev's hammer lift or the gravity method for back pressure. That's not really working your back pressure. It's actually building your up pressure strength. As a top roller, up pressure is essential, especially if you're a posting top roller. You attack their rise using up pressure and combine it with back pressure. But up pressure doesn't work alone. It's like how pronation works along with back pressure. Dragging back pressure is what engages your up pressure for that offensive high-knuckle top roll. Now about back pressure, look at the angle Hermes is using here. It's perfect, nearly 90 degrees. That's why I always tell people to do back pressure exercises and bicep curls at 90 degrees. If the angle drops below 90, the weight you're lifting gets reduced. And the more that angle drops, the more it contributes to up pressure rather than back pressure. That is how up pressure and back pressure works together. For hook pullers or pressers, if they're reluctant to use pronation, then the down pressure heavily relies on the triceps and shoulders. For a top roller, it can be a tricep-driven finishing move, or sometimes it depends on how much you've taken from the hand and how much external torque you can bring to the hand in that position. However, it may not always work against guys who are really good at pulling without your hand. You might get confused between down pressure and side pressure. I see side pressure as the ability to stop your opponent and bring them to your side. After that, down pressure comes into play by taking the hand down to the pin pad through the bicep. Down pressure is really necessary in arm wrestling. You need enormous down pressure to get through Devon King's move if you are going purely outside. In recent years, only Dave and Levan have successfully run through Devon's King's move. Dave is known for his side pressure, and he seems to have done it only once. But Levan has done it 7 times across 2 encounters. We praise Dave's side pressure a lot. Just imagine how strong Levan must be. It's not even close. To handle Levan's down pressure, you need enormous back pressure and bicep strength. And who did that? Yes, the gladiator. Levan succeeded in side pressure, winning the center, but his down pressure wasn't enough to pull Hermes to the pin pad. Hermes got a sticky spot on that day. Another guy who uses down pressure really effectively is Morozov. Why I think Morozov would be a great match for Devon has many reasons. I know some people will say, oh, Devon will eat him and all. And yeah, Devon's level is insanely high. But Artyom has really good arm power, and his press is amazing. The way he connects his shoulder, the timing is perfect, and that could be a problem for Devon. Even when Morozov was at his lower strength, he came close to pinning Yorgi with a pure side pressure surge without hand. He also pinned Alex Kordesha from the center without hand. If Morozov comes in shape close to his Kamel match, it will be an amazing battle. He's another guy known for tremendous endurance. Also, the term down pressure is sometimes used in ulnar deviation movements. Don't get confused there. So how can we develop down pressure? Most people see down pressure as a component of side pressure. That's not wrong, but it's a very basic way to look at it. The way you should set up the vector for training side pressure is almost perpendicular, about 90 degrees to your body. But if the angle is less than 90 degrees, it contributes more to down pressure. There's a balance point between these angles that trains both. Todd Hutchings used to train in this angle. When Dave and Hermes faces Vitali, you can see how scary Vitali's side pressure was. He was taking center from Hermes multiple times and also stops Levan multiple times at center. He used a lot of 90-degree side pressure, and it clearly translated to the table. I've noticed Ivan doing most of his side pressure moves on this perpendicular vector. He's known for having the world's best hook. Here, the angle is nearly 90, but it's not the balanced position we talked about either. In this position, your elbow conditions in a way that most lateral pressure from a real match gets canceled. You can stop most people in the hook here. I have seen massive results in Reno's matches. He trains a lot in this vector, and it clearly translates to the table. He also has amazing down pressure. The way you train pure side pressure conditions your elbow, brachialis, shoulder stabilizers, lats, and all. So it's necessary to train that way. When it comes to pressers, they seem to train down pressure more often than top rollers. Ibrahim Sagov is a big example of this. He used to train very shoulder-committed press moves, which include a lot of down pressure movements. And his press is crazy strong. The way he gets people inside is insane. He even pinned Gennady with zero resistance. Kamil also possesses enormous down pressure. He literally pinned guys like Vitaly, Dave, Devon, and all. We may have seen some people get stuck in the king's move and not be bleary to move sideways. That's usually a lack of down pressure, which is why it's so necessary to train it. In the Devon versus Levan match, it's not just about down pressure, it's also about the dominance of Levan's hand and grip over Devon's hand. And here, grip doesn't just mean squeezing. The way Levan grips, combined with his rise, pronation, and hand containment, is insanely strong against Devon's hand. Devon's hand was under tension in multiple directions at once. When a posting top roller meets Devon, most of the opponent's high knuckle rotation gets canceled by Devon's high cup pressure. But Devon's high cup power wasn't enough to stop Levan's high knuckle rotation, which made Levan's down pressure more efficient. This is what allowed him to get through Devon's king's move. The outward force was just too much for Devon to handle. In the second round of their first match, Devon's rise completely dropped. That's where Devon got injured and realized that you need a very strong riser to attack Levan's hand. Without controlling the hand, it's nearly impossible to defeat him. The more advantage you get on the hand, the more it contributes to your path through the center to the pin pad. Some people develop side pressure or down pressure passively from normal training, but some really need to train specifically for that. Another guy who I think has amazing down pressure is Yordan Tsonev. This guy is legitimately strong. The first time I saw him was against Devon Larratt in a practice pull. On the right hand, he was surprisingly pinning Devon multiple times. And it wasn't just a light practice. Devon was actually trying hard. On the left hand, Yordan's cup looked insanely strong, and he used his back pressure so precisely while going down. Usually, when Devon goes for a practice pull, he always uses his pronator. But here, Yordan's containment was so strong that Devon couldn't even activate his pronator. In their real match, though, Devon beat Yordan. Yordan also beat Farid Osmanli, who has beaten Vitaly Lalatin, and that wasn't even close. Yordan was side pressuring him every time, and I've seen him train that way a lot with the vector in a perpendicular position. Most of the guys who use this perpendicular training method are hook pullers, and only a few top rollers do. But I've noticed a difference in those top rollers. Bacho, for example, seems to train both styles, and he's got a pretty strong top roll and hook. And go for the acute angled vector when training your down pressure. That's what'll make your down pressure crazy strong. That's all for today. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.